Let's have an honest, grown conversation today. In a world where hookup culture echoes louder than ever before, where quick encounters and fleeting situationships have replaced meaningful bonds and true commitment, there's a quiet, persistent question that keeps circling in the hearts of many women. How do I know when it's real? Not just a relationship on the surface, not just the words that are spoken, but the intimacy, those private moments when it's just the two of you, no outside noise, no filters, no performances, when it's just skin to skin, energy to energy, soul to soul. Is it love, or is it simply lust wearing the mask of something deeper? Here's the raw truth. Physical chemistry is simple to find. That spark, that pull, that fire, it can ignite between two people who've barely scratched the surface of knowing each other. You can share passion and intensity and still lack the emotional safety that only real love brings. Because the truth is, anyone can desire your body, but not everyone is capable of cherishing it. That's where the line is drawn. When a man genuinely cares for you, when he's truly in love, everything about the way he connects with you, especially behind closed doors, shifts. His focus isn't just on the act itself. It becomes something far more meaningful. He's no longer just seeking gratification or aiming to impress. He's grounding himself in the moment, in you. He's not just touching your body, he's acknowledging your soul. And suddenly it stops being just about desire and starts being about presence. Real, intentional, heartfelt presence. That's when intimacy takes on a new shape. That's when you begin to see the quiet but powerful signs that he's not just there for what you provide, but for what he feels in your presence. For you, the woman, not just the experience. Today, let's bring clarity to something that too often gets lost in the noise, because there are deeply emotional, powerful things that men only do in bed when what they feel is real. Once you recognize these gestures, you'll stop wondering if you're wanted and start knowing you're genuinely loved. When a man loves you, something inside him softens, deepens, steadies. Intimacy no longer becomes a performance or an escape. It becomes a moment of connection, a moment he wants to stretch, not rush. That's why the first, often most telling sign of real love in the bedroom is this: he slows down. Most people race through physical closeness, chasing a sensation, a release, a momentary sense of control or validation. And let's be honest, a lot of what happens in the bedroom these days is theater. People go through the motions, following predictable routines, doing what they think is expected. And sure, fast can be thrilling, but fast doesn't always mean connected. In fact, fast often skips right past emotional depth and lands in the realm of empty routine. But when a man is in love, truly invested, everything about his energy changes. He slows down. He takes his time not because he's unsure, but because he values the moment. He's not just reaching for your body, he's reaching for you. He wants to absorb every detail, every breath, every soft sound, every part of you that can't be spoken. He isn't in a hurry to get to the peak, because to him, the entire journey is what matters. And that slowing down isn't just about physical pace. It's a mindset. He's grounded. He's present. He's not distracted by ego or impulse. His focus isn't centered on himself, it's centered on you. That level of presence says more than words ever could. It says, this matters. You matter. You'll notice it in how he watches your body respond, in how he listens to the rhythm of your breath, how he stays with you in the stillness. When a man truly loves you, he's not trying to make it to the end. He's trying to stay in the moment with you for as long as he can. He wants to live in that space where everything else falls away and it's just the two of you fully connected. It's in the slowness where real intimacy blooms, and the way his lips linger just a little longer, in the moments when his hands pause simply to hold you, in the way he breathes you in like he's trying to memorize you, not just your body, but your presence, that tenderness, that stillness. It's sacred. It's not performance. It's not strategy. It's love, unguarded and open. And here's something often missed. Slowing down requires trust. A man can only let go of the rush when he feels emotionally safe. When he doesn't trust or doesn't want something real, he'll keep things surface level, quick, detached, transactional. But when there's love, he becomes soft, vulnerable, intentional. In that tenderness, he's telling you something powerful without speaking at all. This isn't just sex. This is something that matters, and I want to be here for all of it. So if you ever find yourself with a man who isn't rushing, not because of hesitation, but because of reverence, pay close attention. That's not just someone being physically intimate. That's someone loving you with every breath, every pause, every gentle touch. And that kind of presence, that kind of attentiveness, it's rare, it's real. And when it's real, you won't question it. You'll feel it in your soul. Now let's touch on something simple but deeply revealing: eye contact. Eye contact during intimacy is one of the most vulnerable things two people can share. Think about it. When we're scared, we look away. When we're hiding something, we avoid the eyes. When we're physically present but emotionally absent, we don't make eye contact. We look anywhere but there. To truly look into someone's eyes while you're at your most exposed, raw, and vulnerable, that takes courage. It takes trust, and not everyone is ready for that. But a man who loves you, he craves that kind of connection. When he looks into your eyes and holds his gaze, it's not about control, it's about anchoring. It's his way of saying, I'm not just here for this act, I'm here for you. And it doesn't always happen during the height of passion either. Sometimes it's in the stillness, the quiet in-between moments, that soft gaze, that lingering look that says everything without a single word. That's when you know it's more than just physical. That gaze holds emotion, depth, truth. And when a man holds eye contact during intimacy, he's offering you a kind of presence that's both rare and beautiful. It's not the kind of eye contact that demands or dominates. It's steady, gentle. It's warm and real. He's not watching your reactions for ego validation. He's searching for your feelings, your comfort, your heart. And he's making sure you feel seen, not just touched, but seen. That kind of eye contact doesn't leave you feeling exposed. It leaves you feeling held. Here's what many people overlook. A man who can look you in the eyes during intimacy is a man who's emotionally open. The ones who can't handle true connection, who fear being seen, who aren't ready for emotional closeness, they avoid the eyes. They close theirs. They look away. They bury their faces and stay hidden in the physical because the emotional is too much. But the man who holds your gaze, especially in your most vulnerable moments, isn't afraid. He wants to know you all all of you. And he's not hiding. He's fully, bravely there. That look, it's quiet, but it speaks loudly. It says, I love you, I respect you, you're safe with me, I'm here. Now, when you experience that kind of eye contact, when it's not just about watching, but about feeling, everything else fades. It's not just about what's happening, it's about what's real. And once you felt that kind of depth, everything shallow feels like background noise. Let's talk about what happens after the moment of intimacy ends. While many focus on the heat and passion during, there's just as much, if not more, truth in what follows. One of the clearest signs that a man's love is genuine is how he holds you after. See, for a lot of men, the end of sex brings a shift. The goal feels reached, the high fades, and often the instinct is to roll away, close their eyes, and disappear into sleep or silence, as if the emotional presence switched off once the physical act ended. But when a man loves you, that moment after doesn't end anything, it deepens everything. He doesn't want to pull away. He wants to stay, linger, keep the closeness alive. It's not always about deep conversations. Sometimes it's just quiet, playful whispers. Other times it's soft laughter, a shared memory, a gentle joke, or even a still silence that feels safe, not empty. But the message beneath it all is this: I want to be with you a little longer. He's not eager to disconnect. He's still there, still reaching for you, not just your body, but your emotion, your mind, your presence. He might not say, did you feel loved out loud, but he asks it in the way he pulls you closer, the way his hand trails gently down your back, the way he listens even in silence. And if something's troubling you, if there's something unspoken, he senses it. He cares enough to ask, to stay, to hold space for it. Because for him, the closeness you share doesn't begin or end with physicality. It's part of something much deeper, something he wants to protect, nurture, and build. That kind of after moment, the holding, the quiet, the staying isn't a small thing, it's everything. It's what tells you without words, you're not just a passing moment to me. You're someone I'm here for, even after. And that's where love lives, not just in the fire, but in the calm that follows. When a man chooses to stay, to hold you, to speak softly, to simply be near, he's saying the most honest thing his heart can offer. I'm not done loving you yet. He doesn't brush it off or get defensive. He hears you. He adapts. He reassures you. Because when love is genuine, what comes after the act matters just as much as the act itself. Now think about the difference when a man is emotionally unavailable or solely focused on the physical. The moment ends, and so does his emotional presence. He pulls away, goes silent, perhaps even becomes distant. You can feel the shift immediately, like the connection evaporated, and suddenly you're just two individuals occupying the same space again. That's not love. That's attraction without emotional depth. But when love is real, the bond stays. He's not disappearing into sleep, his phone, or any other distraction. He wants to remain right there with you in that raw, intimate space. That's the sacred ground where emotional closeness takes root. That's where real connection deepens. Ladies, believe this. Those whispered conversations in the dark, the ones you may overlook, those are where trust is nurtured. That's where love breathes. That's when two people move past connection and into being truly seen. Don't underestimate the impact of what unfolds after physical intimacy. When a man chooses to linger in that emotional space with you, not out of obligation, but from genuine desire, that's not just sweet, that's rare. And it's real. He asks you what you like and sincerely cares about your response. There's a pivotal moment in every meaningful relationship, one that reveals who a man truly is, not just in how he moves in bed, but in how he shows up as your partner. And it often comes down to something profoundly simple, yet incredibly telling. Does he ask what you enjoy? And more importantly, does he actually listen and care? A man who's only in it for himself might throw out a few questions to seem attentive. Maybe he'll say, "You like that?" But his actions don't change. He's not invested in understanding. He just wants validation that he's doing fine. That's not curiosity, it's ego. But a man who genuinely loves you, he sees intimacy as a shared path, not a one-man performance. Yes, he wants to explore your body, but even more, he wants to know your mind, your rhythm, your comfort zones. He seeks to understand what makes you feel safe, alive, desired, and deeply connected. When he asks what you like, he listens with the intent to grow closer to you. Not to check off a box or prove himself, but because this knowledge connects him to you. That kind of emotional attentiveness, that's devotion. When a man loves you, he doesn't rush through moments or recycle moves that worked with someone else. You're not a formula to solve. You're a world he wants to explore. He wants to discover what brings you joy, what lights you up, what makes you feel not just wanted, but treasured. He's not asking out of insecurity. He's asking because your pleasure is important to him. Not an afterthought, not an obligation, but something he values deeply. And let's pause to really consider the difference between asking and caring. Caring shows up in the little things, in the way he notices how your breathing changes when he touches you a certain way, in how he remembers the preferences you shared a few nights ago and puts them into action. Caring means checking in, not because he needs reassurance, but because he respects you. It means he doesn't assume he knows you better than you know yourself. It means he's open to discovering you again and again. This isn't about some perfect technique, it's about intention. A man who truly loves you welcomes your feedback, not because he's lacking confidence, but because your experience genuinely matters to him. He wants to co-create the moment with you. He's not there to dominate it. He's there to share it. That's why when he asks what you like, there's no pressure to perform, no anxiety about being judged. You can open up, and in that openness, you find someone ready to meet you in your truth. A man like that doesn't just give you pleasure, he gives you permission to be fully seen, to be truly heard, and to feel completely safe being yourself. So when a man asks what brings you joy and shows that he genuinely values your answer, when he listens, adapts, recalls, and responds, what you're experiencing isn't just physical attraction, you're experiencing emotional devotion. And that right there is what transforms physical closeness into meaningful love. There's something undeniably powerful in how a man touches you when he's in love. Not just during intimacy, but in the tender moments that follow. It's not about grand gestures. It's not a performance. It's something gentler, more sacred, more telling. When a man's love is sincere, his arms become more than a place to rest. They become a statement. Consider how he holds you once everything quiets down. When the lights are dim, adrenaline fades, and the only sound left is your breathing. That's the moment where truth surfaces. That's when you can feel the depth of what remains unspoken. In that space, when he wraps his arms around you, gently pulls you close, runs his fingers through your hair, or simply lets your hand rest against his chest, he's saying so much without speaking. He's saying you're safe. He's saying he's still here, not just physically, but emotionally. That kind of presence says more than words ever could. A man who's only in it for the physical often disappears once the moment ends. He turns away, disengages, maybe even leaves altogether. For him, the connection had an expiration time. Holding, nurturing, gentleness, it was never part of the plan. But a man who truly loves you doesn't treat your body like a pit stop. He treats it like home. He doesn't want to leave. He holds you with meaning. Sometimes he'll draw you in, quietly, without needing to speak, burying his face in your neck as if anchoring himself to the moment, to you. Your skin, your heartbeat, your scent, those are what keep him grounded. Sometimes his embrace says, this moment means everything. Other times it says, I want to shield you from everything outside. Either way, it's honest, it's vulnerable, and it matters. Most people rush past stillness. We've been conditioned to keep moving, to check out, to chase the next thrill. But when a man stays, when he chooses to remain right there, wrapped around you as if holding something delicate, he's showing you just how much you mean to him. Not in the heat of passion, but in the softness that follows. Not when it's loud and exciting, but in the quiet. You might notice his breath syncing with yours. You might feel how unhurried he is. No scramble to clean up, no reaching for distractions, just presence. Just you, just now. And that presence, that's a love that doesn't need fireworks. It doesn't need performance. It needs only sincerity. The way he holds you in those still moments says what words often can't. Maybe he's not ready to say everything out loud, but his touch fills in the blanks. So if you're ever unsure of a man's love, don't just look at what he says in the daylight. Pay attention to how he holds you in the dark. That's where you'll find his truth. When he holds you like you're the most meaningful thing he's ever touched, with no demands, no performance, no ticking clock, just love, that's the difference between being wanted and being cherished. When a man's love is real, it shows not in grand speeches, but in quiet gestures, in how he touches you, how he sees you, how he stays beside you when everything else fades away. True love doesn't vanish when the moment ends. It lingers. It listens. It holds you in ways that don't always need words, because his actions speak the loudest. So let me leave you with this. You deserve that kind of love, the kind that holds you like you're precious, not like you're something to win. The kind that checks in with your heart, not just checks you out. The kind that stays close, especially after the passion, and honors your pleasure like it's his own. This kind of connection isn't rare because it doesn't exist. It's rare because too many people stop short of waiting for it. They settle. Don't be one of them. Wait for the man who shows up with all of himself, with his heart, with his presence, with his love. If these words speak to your soul, even just a little, here's what I want you to do. Like this video if it reminded you of what love should feel like. Subscribe for more content that speaks to your worth, your power, and your right to a relationship that fills you up, not wears you down. And in the comments, tell me one small but powerful way a man made you feel genuinely loved. Your story could be the reason someone else raises their standards today. Because remember this, you're not asking for too much, you're just asking the wrong person. The right one won't make you feel like a burden, he'll make you feel like a blessing, and you are.